You know, honestly, most people I meet I don't like immediately. Matter of fact, a fair number I don't like at all. But with Dr. D. Russell, it was quite different. He was going about solving a problem in a very quiet way, but at the same time, it was almost like he was yelling. He was in control, but everybody was listening. I found the man very engaging. I liked him immediately.
In my mind, Dr. Russell is the problem solver. His intelligence, wisdom, ability to look at issues from many different sides makes him invaluable in this role.
Well, D. Russell is a man of many talents, as all of us know, and he's really one of the backbone people of this healthcare system. More and more with healthcare today, physician services and hospitals have to work hand in hand, and he's good at that, and he enjoys doing it, and the physicians respect him, and the hospital employees respect him, and those of us in the community respect him.
I'd hate to say someone's a unique individual because I haven't met all 6 billion of us, but in my experience, he is a unique individual.
What I have learned and has really made me stretch and grow has been the way he handles situations, the way he handles people. He is such an encourager. I would say that is probably a huge part of what he does, encouraging people. And it's those kinds of things that I've been able to watch and learn, and it's been almost like being in school every day.
If you look at where Floyd was in 1991 when I got here, and you look at Floyd Medical Center today, what it has become 21 years later, it is dramatic. The physical plant, the leadership, and very importantly, the staff. The friendliest staff anywhere in Northwest Georgia is the staff that works at Floyd Medical Center. And Dr. Russell was a key person, an instrumental person in making things like that happen.
Medicine truly is an art and a science that is mixed in such a way that they become one. And they knew the science, but he mastered the art.
You know, you look at the care that is offered, it's individual patients one at a time, but it changes, it affects the care that is rendered in this community and how it's rendered, and shapes a community. And that's why he's leaving a huge footprint, if you will, on the medical care in Rome, Georgia.
As he was looking at whether we go forward with a certain project or not, he was looking at it not just from what was good for Floyd Medical Center, but he was really looking at whether it was good for Rome, Floyd County, Northwest Georgia, and more specifically, individual patients. D has always been about the patient first.
When I approach a problem, I do like to imagine myself thinking, you know, how would Dr. Russell handle this? And I try to follow that path as closely as possible.
Integrity, I think, is very important to be successful in anything long term. Somebody can hide themselves or can put on a false front, perhaps for a short period of time, but it will fall apart over time. And he doesn't have that false front.
It's kind of hard to be in the room where Dr. Russell is at and not to feel pumped up.
Both of my children years ago told me that I looked like a dork in a bow tie, but I thought as I was moving towards this interview to celebrate Dee's career, that it was only appropriate that I have a bow tie on. I went to the University of Texas website. I purchased this tie. I felt all along, even though it was ridiculously expensive and ugly, that with the, you know, so many people have always loved University of Texas that I could probably go on eBay and sell it. Well, now that they've lost 3 or 4 of their last games, I'm probably going to just have to give it to D. Hook 'em horns.
His exercise regimen and his dietary regimen are legendary at the hospital. He makes it difficult for us to indulge in some of the more desirable desserts, as Dr. Russell will come over and look upon us with disapproval. But D, we all don't have your discipline, okay? That's just how it is.
We were on the tram at Atlanta Airport 5 in the morning, and he had this cowboy hat on, jeans with this big belt buckle, and these Texas boots. And it was looking pretty good. And we were the only people on the tram, and in walked this attractive young gal. And she began flirting with him right in front of me. I watched this whole thing occur. It was like I wasn't there. And I watched him. He was kind of getting in a sweat about that. And when we finally walked off, I said, well, Dee, she really liked you. And he never missed a minute. He looked at me. He said, she liked the hat. So I spent that whole rest of that time trying to get the hat from him in Kansas City. He wouldn't let me use it. Didn't think I was capable of using it. But it's just the way he is. He's quick-witted. He's funny. He never has humor at your expense. It's always at his expense, and it is one of the things I cherish about him most.
There are elements in any kind of meeting where there is some disagreement, but when you see D. Russell at the table, you always feel like that we're always going to rise above our differences and do what's best for this community. I'm going to miss that because he was an example for me and for others to follow.
You know, Dee is and has been a good friend. He is and always will be a good man, and I'm going to really miss him.